Hi, this is Vino. So I was explaining where Eagle asked such a one simple question. Why is there no directive support and assistance of heaven here on earth? Why is rape allowed? Why is abuse allowed? Why is murder allowed? Why is violence allowed? But he asked it from the perspective specifically about child abuse and rape, etc. And Chacha reacted to the question and said to Eagle, "How dare you ask me that question? You know, basically you're not allowed to ask that question, etc." And Eagle didn't accept it at all. So Eagle said to Winged, "Winged, go into the dimensions and tell me exactly what is going on there." And so Winged went on further explorations within heaven and informed Bernard Eagle of what was going on in heaven. You know, there were different heavens within which beings that had died were lost in, and so they created their own heaven, or the goddess of creation, which you've heard of, was reigned over that existence of preparing heavens for human beings to experience themselves in. Said there were guides with human beings standing next to them, watching, not doing anything at all. Angels, there weren't at all angels on earth. She basically said now and then angels would come down and talk. So all this investigations of Winged and Bernard together opened up quite a bit of what was really going on in heaven during that time, where heaven was not at all here. Really. Now and then there'd be angels coming down and guides occasionally when their pre-programmed timer went off within a being's experience of themselves in their world. Literally everything was pre-programmed, going to psychics, channels, intuitives, etc. In that moment, an alarm will go off and the person you want to contact with will either come down, or the psychic will connect through that system connection and download the information from the human being asking for a channel, and then according to that speak from memory information and knowledge. You know, if you haven't seen the psychic video that Jack covered, I suggest you watch it. So it was quite a lengthy process, and as Winged and Eagle kind of worked together to understand what was going on in heaven during that time, and there were much found, and basically Eagle realized something has to be done because this cannot continue. You know, the dimensions are lost, enslaved, in absolute separation, lost in their own little mind illusion reality, and he has to do something. So, in that moment he started speaking, you know, with Usher and Jesus. He spoke to various beings in existence, trying to find a solution of how we're going to bring heaven on earth. And so Anu, through deception and manipulation, came through and said to Bernard, what can I do to help? You know, like this real, presenting himself as honestly wanting to now assist and support, but actually he had this entire plan of deceiving and manipulating, because that's what Anu is. He is deception and manipulation in its manifested form. So he came through, and Eagle said to Anu, I don't know. Look at my process and see if you're able to find anything which would assist the dimensions in its entirety to release themselves from separation and self-deception and enslavement, to directly start participating here on earth and start assisting and supporting human beings. And at the time, Bernard Eagle did not know about Anu's position in the dimensions and existence in its entirety. No one really knew, because from perspective it was the white light that was God, but the white light was the creation of Anu. Actually, Anu was behind it. Well, it was the white light, then the 26 masters, and then Anu. You know, Anu being the king, the creator of everything. So all the dimensional beings in existence was lost from the perspective of believing that the white light was really God, and God was in control of everything, and He was taking care of everything. And I understand, during that time, all dimensional beings still believed in the soul construct, reincarnation, karma, and, you know, basically the white light justified all questions that was asked. For instance, why are human beings suffering so? And then the white light would answer, they must experience the fullness and the wholeness of many events that must occur before they can be worthy of the becoming of God. Seriously, that shit was spoken. So, you know, beings believed that. They believed that everything that human beings experience on earth was so that they can understand what it means to be God. I know. So to them it was all fine. Then they went, oh great, let me go to earth and suffer so that I can get closer to the experience of myself as God. Warped. And so Anu came through and he said to Bernard, how am I able to assist and support? Bernard said, I don't know. Look at my life, see if you're able to find anything that may assist and support. So Anu, of course, as the placement of himself as a leader, took leadership. And he went into the dimensional existence, and what he did was he created these loops, like cones. Big, round at the top, and going down, 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 down to a singular point at the bottom. He created many of them. He created this whole containment in the dimensions. And he said to the dimensions, right, everyone has to apply forgiveness, like I have applied forgiveness. This is my signature. I now applied forgiveness. This is my signature. This is what your signature must look like before you'll be able to again return to earth and assist and support human beings. So, he locked in all dimensional beings in existence into these loop cones that was called the forgiveness process. This containment area. So every one of the dimensions was placed in there. Now, Anu said he applied forgiveness, but he didn't. He basically superimposed a made-up signature within himself and said, I applied forgiveness. This is the signature as what all the dimensional beings must look like. So in my next interview I'll go further about how he further deceived and manipulated everyone else in the dimensions. And everyone took the fall for that. Thank you very much. This is Vina.